fans of the Mortal Kombat franchise won't have to wait another 25 years to see the fourth film adaptation of the beloved video game. However, New Line Cinema announced the next film has already been greenlit. In this video, we'll talk about everything we know about the sequel, the cast, the plot, and stay tuned for some interesting news about the newest video game installment for the franchise as well. So, who's going to be directing it? There's no surprises to this, as one of the first orders of business was the studio announcing that the director of the 2021 movie, Simon McQuoid, will be back to direct the sequel. McQuoid is a former commercial director who got his big break after winning the job for the 2021 film, and the studio saw enough to give him the reins for the sequel. Fans appreciated that McQuoid was able to give them a fun movie-going experience that was both brutal and honest to the characters that people love. Fans questioned the choice of making Lewis Tan's character, Cole Young, the central focus of the film, since Cole Young isn't actually in the Mortal Kombat franchise, and there's so many other characters to build the movie around. The most obvious choice would be the film's most accomplished actor, Hiroyuki Sanada, who's also playing one of the most beloved characters in Scorpion. But despite minor errors in storytelling, McQuoid was able to pull an impressive $87 million at the box office during the pandemic with the simultaneous HBO release when theater-going was at an all-time low. Execs believe McQuoid should be able to pull closer to normal blockbuster numbers in closer to normal times. Even though the movie wasn't received well by critics, the film pulled off an impressive user rating of 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. Are they keeping the same writers? One of the first moves made by the studios after their announcement that the latest installment will be getting a sequel was getting a new writer for it. Writer-producer Jeremy Slater, known for developing the hit Netflix original The Umbrella Academy, and also the head writer for Disney's Moon Knight series, appears to be the man for the job. Slater has had a number of ups and downs in his career. Most notably, he was the writer for the infamous Fantastic Four debacle, a movie which both confused and angered fans worldwide. But after critical and commercial success with Umbrella and Moon Knight, there seems to be a level of trust that Slater can deliver the goods with the Mortal Kombat sequel based on the cliffhangers that ended the 2021 movie. One would think the larger plotting of the movie has already been taken care of, but there's still a lot of room for Slater to add his own flavor to the script and make it something new. Fans were not surprised when the previous writers were not brought back due to the inexplicable decisions to focus the film around a new character nobody was familiar with when so many beloved characters were already available to choose from. The previous film had even left out Johnny Cage until they mentioned him in the last few minutes of the movie. But there's still a chance that Slater can right the wrongs of the previous film and have Cage in a more prominent, if not starring role for the sequel. What's the plot going to be about? New Line has either kept the project under incredibly tight wraps, or there just isn't that much project so far to speak of. The only real plot points anyone is familiar with is the main villain of Mortal Kombat 2021 announcing that he's going to bring an army instead of individual fighters to the Earth realm next time. So with that, we can expect the sequel to have some eloquent combination of Crouching Tiger and Saving Private Ryan. Just kidding. But the pronouncement toward the end of the film opens up the floodgate for basically every single Mortal Kombat character there's ever been, and by extension, every single fighting style, weapon, and most importantly, fatality from the games. When asked about what to expect in an interview with The Direct, Slater was professionally ambiguous with his response, but did offer some interesting insights into what his talks with the director and studio have been like. He said, "I think they definitely learned some lessons the last time around in terms of here's the stuff fans responded to, and here's what people liked about the movie, and here's the stuff that didn't work out as well as we'd hoped." So we're really looking at this as a chance to take everything that worked in the first one and do it even better and give the audience even more. This sounds like the producers and director heard the fans' disappointment with not featuring characters like Scorpion and Johnny Cage nearly as much as they should have. So hopefully they can find a way to work these characters in without negating the commitment and development they poured into Lewis Tan's lead character, Cole Young. What has Lewis Tan, the lead in the 2021 film, been up to? Lewis Tan, the British-Chinese actor who played Cole Young in the movie, has had a relatively quiet 2022 so far, but he did trend briefly after posting some vacation photos during his time in Majorca, including one picture of him with a trainer at the Fit Club in Palma Nova. The multi-talented actor is known for performing most of his own stunts due to his extensive martial arts background, including Muay Thai, Kung Fu, and Jiu-Jitsu. Later this year, we'll be getting a Lewis Tan rom-com alongside fellow Brit Emma Roberts in a movie called About Fate. Tan has also been floated around on a short list of actors to potentially play Kato in the just-announced Green Hornet and Kato movie at Universal Pictures. With Tan's experience and his growing reputation as a go-to martial arts star, the fit seems natural, but don't expect announcements on the casting to come anytime soon, since they've yet to reach a deal title on the screenplay for the movie as of early July. Who's going to play Johnny Cage in the sequel? Hollywood is anything but short of blonde-haired, blue-eyed action movie stars, so it seems like there's about 10 million ways for this casting to go. Everyone from Ryan Reynolds to Chris Pine has been theorized to be taking up the role, but one great fit that people keep mentioning is former real-world star and current WWE fan favorite, The Miz. Miz would bring the perfect balance of cockiness and charisma to the character. He also has the benefit of playing those over-the-top caricatures that Mortal Kombat producers seem to love for their live-action films. But it seems like fans would need to make a major push for that to happen right now, because the studios reportedly have their sights set on Sons of Anarchy and Pacific Rim star Charlie Hunnam. It's no wonder they're after him, since physically he fits the role perfectly, and he does have the badass action star credibility the role needs. But Hunnam has typically played more reserved characters than what playing Johnny Cage would require. That doesn't mean that Hunnam can't do the job. To the contrary, this could be the perfect role for him and open him up to more diverse roles later on. Has there been any interesting news for fans of the video game series? While there hasn't been any official news from NetherRealm Studios about the next installment of the video game, Mortal Kombat 12, there have been a few leaks to that point to MK12 being next on the docket for the studio. For one, it's been 3 years since their last release, and they traditionally have released new games every 2 years. The second reason to believe there's going to be a new installment in the not-too-distant future is that all the rumors, although unconfirmed, have been centered around the new Mortal Kombat 12 game as the next man up. All of this is speculation, of course, but if NetherRealm has any plans on keeping the lights on at the studio, a new game would need to be released relatively soon, and the few signs that are out there are all pointing toward it being a Mortal Kombat. Another bit of evidence that something is coming down the pipeline for the next video game is that Andrew Bowen, the voice actor for Johnny Cage, recently tweeted a video of himself outside the Warner Brothers studio with music from the Mortal Kombat 2 soundtrack playing in the background, which one can assume means he was doing some voiceover work for the game. This essentially confirms that NetherRealm Studios is heavily in production for the next video game. It's just a matter of when, not if, it'll be released. Side note, 2022 just happens to be the 30th anniversary of the original video game release, so you'd bet your ass they'd like to give the fans what they've been waiting for to help celebrate. So that's it. That's all we know about the upcoming Mortal Kombat projects. Drop a comment and let us know what you think about the new writer, the old director, and all the potential casting opportunities for the sequel. Like we mentioned, there's a good reason to believe there will be no shortage of Mortal Kombat characters after the threat to unleash an all-out war on Earthrealm. So let us know who your dream castings are.